Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in the last video we learned about some of the defining and non-defining features in case of the living world. We will continue with this chapter, and today we will discuss more about metabolism, which I have already told you that it is the defining property of a living organism. And how it is a defining property? Because these are the reactions which occur in an organism, or we can say these are the series of reactions that occur in a cell or an organelle. Metabolic reactions includes two types of reactions, which are catabolic reactions and anabolic reactions. Together these reactions are known as metabolic reaction or metabolism. In case of catabolism, there is breaking up of components and in case of anabolism, there is building up of components. And these components are essential to gain and to release energy so that an organism can survive. After metabolism, one more defining feature that we will study today is consciousness. Consciousness means that a person or an organism is able to sense its surrounding. An organism or a person is able to sense its surrounding or is able to react towards the external stimuli. External stimuli means the things which are occurring in the environment or the external environment of the organism. But the question here arises is that there are patients who are in coma. So can we say that the person is living? Because here we have already studied that consciousness is when the person is able to sense its surrounding or is able to react towards the external stimuli. But if a person is in coma or a person is brain dead, how can the person be living? The answer to this is that the person who is in coma or the person who is brain dead has the ability to react towards the drugs or the chemicals which are given by the doctors. The person is not able to move its body, but the internal reactions that occur in a person goes on. So the drugs or the chemicals which are given to the person externally by the doctors, the body of that patient reacts towards it. That is why the person who is brain dead or who is in coma is said to be aware and is said to be living. So we have already discussed some defining and non-defining feature of a living organism. How can we differentiate between living and non-living? We have already studied about growth and reproduction, how it is non-defining feature, and now we have discussed about metabolism and consciousness, how it is a defining feature. So the next topic that we will study will be diversity. You all know about diversity. Diversity is variety of anything. Means there is a huge variety. It can be of living organisms, it can be of any non-living stuff. But biodiversity means variety of living organisms, and our earth has a vast variety of living organisms. So it becomes necessary to identify that variety so that further research, further scientific approaches can be done to the living organisms. And the first step for identification of that living organisms comes nomenclature. Nomenclature is naming of an organism which is universally accepted. And why is that so? Because whenever we talk about any organism, it consists of different local names. Different local names. And an organism cannot be called upon universally by the local name. So there is a need to name that organism which is universally accepted. And for this there are two councils which name plants and animals differently. One is International Council of Botanical Nomenclature and the other one is International Council of Zoological Nomenclature. ICBN, International Council for Botanical Nomenclature, as the name suggests, provides scientific name or universal name to the plants. And ICZN provides scientific name to animals. Sorry. For naming any organism, there are some general rules which are to be followed. Like the first one is that the first word or scientific name of any organism consists of genus, and the second one consists of species epithet. For example, if we take a common example, Panthera tigris. Panthera tigris is the scientific name of tiger. The first word of Panthera tigris consists of genus, while the second word consists of species epithet. The second rule is that the first alphabet of genus should be in uppercase. Should be in upper case, while species will be in lower case. The words are always picked up from Latin language. And the reason behind this is that Latin language is a dead language, means it is no more in use. So there is no chance of any modification in the language. The language which is always in use or which keeps on changing cannot be used for naming any organism. So Latin language is used to pick up the scientific name of any organism because there is no chance of any modification in that language. After that, whenever the scientific name is handwritten, it should be underlined separately. For example, in this case, Panthera will be underlined separately and Tigris will be underlined separately. But if it is typed, it will be or it should be in italics. The other rule is that name of the scientist is added whoever at the end of the scientific name of the organism, which tells that the name is given by that scientist. For example, if we take Homo sapiens as an example, which is the scientific name of human beings, this name was given by Carlos Linnaeus. So, the name of the scientist will be added at the end of the scientific name of the organism. One more addition to this rule is that if this name gets modified by any other scientist, the name of that scientist will be added after the scientist who gave original name, after the name of the scientist who gave the original name. If there is any scientist who modified Homo sapiens, say X, so the Homo sapien or the scientific name of any organism will be written as Homo sapien lin X, or name of any scientist who will modify it. These rules belong to binomial nomenclature. Basically, which was given by Carlos Linnaeus. So the rules that we learned earlier were for binomial nomenclature. Means that the scientific name of any organism will be given in two words. The idea of binomial nomenclature was given by Carlos Linnaeus. However, trinomial nomenclature is also in use. In which, after the species name, subspecies name is also added. You must have heard about the scientific name of human beings, in which it is written as Homo sapiens sapiens. sorry for the spelling. Homo sapiens, sapiens, where first one is the genus name, second word represents the species, and the third one represents the subspecies.